So we'll just have to watch where you go, and then
what I'll probably have you guys do is, because we're going to be underneath that bridge and then we have to idle out and go all the way around that one rock pile, I'll probably have you guys just sitting right in front of the boat landing, right on Little Clam. And when you see us come idling out there, then you just follow us.
oh, so we'll be on. Are you guys gonna be on the north or south? Which one's the
We're going to be on the
one?
south side.
So you're yeah.
We're going to be in the river there.
Yeah.
We will be hooking them. It's going to take us a while, but we'll be hooking. You can be the worst person in the world, and you go fishing, they don't know any difference. They don't know who you are. So you're normal when you get there. That's why with me fishing, I'm not a cancer survivor when I'm fishing. I'm just another person with a hook in the water. Get her back. Back. Go. Hey. I've had every type of procedure you can think of. I think now a lot of it, they got a new procedure. They have me try it just so I can say that I've had them all. Every type of scan. You know, the first MRI scan I had when they first came out, I sat in the thing for 6-7 hours. I sat in that MRI scanner, knocking and pinging, and I got a lot of metal in me, and at that time, you know, they don't really know, and I got a lot of metal surgical staples in my body, and what they did, my cancer was I've had it so long, I mean, how they tracked my tumors, they didn't have MRI scanners and CT scanners when I got it. That how they tracked my tumors, they put a metal surgical staple, they'd cut you out and put a medical surgical staple where the tumor was, and when they'd x-ray, those staples really highlight and they really appear, and then they tracked to where the tumor went based on them staples, and that's how they tracked. So now I got all these metal staples in me. When the MRI, those things get red hot, and so it basically like internally burns me when they do these, and so they have to sedate me to do them now. But when I first did them, you know, I just had to bear through it. And six hours in a scanner. It was not a lot of fun when you're a kid.
It was extremely hard to see your son going down on the gurney for surgery in the morning, and here's this little tiny baby, and they're wheeling him down to take him to surgery, and you don't know if he's coming back, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. And then, you know, it just seemed like after that surgery, and then there was another one and another one, every time they just kept taking little pieces of him, and that was the hard part, because you just never knew if he was going to come back. And then you'd sit there for a whole day. Some surgeries, it would start at 6:30 in the morning, because they always took the youngest first, and he wouldn't be back until 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night. And that was the really hard part.
That's a whole nother society, a whole nother world underneath the water. I always loved to see a day in the life, you know, of a fish underwater, what their day consists of, you know. And they're so simple. You think about it, all they do is they just, it's all a matter of, you know, trying to figure out how to feed and breed.
probably my third brother, along with Tim being my fourth brother. So we were raised, me and my two other brothers, Steve and Dave, we lived every summer together and a lot of the winters. And over the course of time, he's become an uncle to my kids.
Now, Kevin is limited, right? No, he's not. We'd sit here on the porch and hear Ruthie say, "Kevin!" And we'd always know Kevin was into something. From very little on. They had a three-wheeler, and I have about 20 acres on the other side of the road. Kevin would ride that thing. Of course, he wasn't legally able to, but he would ride it full throttle with the thing shaking back and forth, and Kevin's little body going back and forth across as he rode it as fast as he could. Of course, he flipped it several times, but that was Kevin.
I see lots of water, but I see lots of memories. Lots of memories. My mission with kids and fishing is I want to introduce them to probably something that God's got the most of, you know, created, and we haven't ruined. This is my depth finder for the front, so we can find the fish. See, it says it's 18 feet of water. My life goal is to always have something with fishing and kids, because the big thing is if you introduce a kid to fishing, grab the snap. First of all, it's a very cheap means of entertainment. You give the kid I give all my used poles and stuff, which are very expensive poles, but I give a lot of my rods and reels away to kids. And when they get, I train them in on a bait caster, and they cast with it and cast with it, and they ruin thousands and thousands of yards of my line. But I got, thank God, I got Sunline, good line sponsors, so I get lots of lines. So I got plenty to support the kids. But you watch them, and they're so frustrated at first trying to cast that thing. I said, we got to learn this. You know, if you want to catch the big fish, you got to learn how to cast this pole is what you catch them on. So you get them going, and then they get all geared up. And once they figure it out, by the end of the summer, they got it down. You know, and then I just give them the rod. I say, here you go. There's your rod and reel. Let's go get them. All your problems go away. If you introduce a kid to fishing, that's something he can do when he's got money, when he doesn't have money. The kid's dead broke. He goes and he spends $20 and buys a fishing license and buys a dozen crawlers, or finds a dozen crawlers in his garden at nighttime, and he can go fishing. He can go sit there for hours and just be quiet and enjoy life. It can give them a backbone structure, you know, in their life, something that they can go to when they have their girlfriend problems, or they're having their, you know, say one of their siblings gets cancer and is dying. They have a way to escape everything. You can get away from everybody fishing. You can just totally get on your own. Kneel down. Hunting, put them in the water. You have to kill something. The ultimate outcome is you have to kill something. Fishing, you don't. You can catch them all day long and let them go all day long. You don't have to ruin nothing. You know, you don't have to change anything. Good job, buddy. Ooh, there's fish on it too. There's fish on it, buddy. Look at them. See that? See there's a little rock there, and we come up and see these are stalks, weeds, and see those little arches? Those are fish on it. They come up on top of this. You see that 167? That's a waypoint that I had marked on my GPS. So we're right on them. Now it's time to catch them.
I like your new boat.
You like my new boat? Could I order a large pepperoni sausage, thin crust pizza? Light on the sauce. This is Kevin. Good, how you doing? Pepperoni sausage. You betcha. Thanks. Okay. See ya. Bye.
You betcha. You do like pizza.
They knew me.
I met Kevin in 2004. He started fishing the String Series Northern Division, and immediately it was obvious that he had just a wonderful personality, the kind of person that you feed off of, the kind of person that if you're around him long enough, he's going to make you positive too.
Are you hoping to become a professional fisherman sometime?
You got to catch some of the best of them. Kid ain't on day one.
Oh, not too bad. How you doing?
$14,000
Tough.
on day
Better.
two. Gonna weigh 9 pounds 3 ounces. Has him at 19.
Gets me on the stage.
There you go.
I had noticed that that Kevin had a limp when he walked, and I remember he had this big old stringer of smallmouth bass, and he'd come across the stage, and both days he had a real big stringer of smallmouth bass, and I just remember thinking, golly, man, he can barely carry that big old sack of fish across the stage, and I noticed he had a limp, and I wondered, I was curious, you know, if he had just been injured or what have you there, but immediately I knew that he was a good fisherman to catch fish like he was catching in that tournament.
That's a good job for Kevin Bartch, back on the tournament trail.
He has strengthened, I believe, so many people in that FLW Northern Division. When you think you've had a bad day out on the water, you haven't had a bad day. You know, just walk a day. Just walk a week, just walk a day, an hour in Kevin's shoes, and you'll realize that how precious life really is.
We got some fish. We're still alive. That's a good thing. FLW is my reason I'm still alive. I mean, it's my cure. Chris Jones is a great guy. You couldn't talk about a better tournament director. I really appreciate Chris and all the FLW staff. They're family. How many tournament directors call you at home and just see how you're feeling? Not many, and he does, so that's a big thing. Ultimately, I'd love to just be run an exclusive FLW sponsored boat, because I am so strongly with FLW that, you know, it's my way of life, and I'd love to just represent them exclusively, but also go in to these hospitals in these towns and get kids that are struggling through this and just tell them, you know, this is my way of life, and this is what these people do for me, you know, and that's huge. That's got a huge message to it. You know, I can promote them out of my bed as good as anybody who wins it.
I heard you got out okay though in time.
Oh yeah. Drove 90 miles an hour.
I bet you did.
I was doing 76.8 across the lake. Look at, you just push it right in on that thing. Keeps it nice and level instead of that bend. And then we don't have to worry about the bait coming down the hook shank, not getting a good hook set. Bait just goes free. We bury the hook, we bring the fish in. The hook stands like that, straight up. That bass come eat that worm. Obviously when it's in the water, it's got neutral buoyancy. It sits like that, we pull it, hits them rocks.
Kid.
Kevin has always been bigger than life, and he was, from the day he was born, he wouldn't sit still, and he was just jumpy, and he still is.
Skeeter, go fishing. Go fishing. It does take a lot of time with all of Kevin's needs. You have to make sure he's got all the proper medications and make sure that you order all the colostomy supplies and then set him up for his appointments. And I basically do all of that because it is so it's so frustrating and so much. Kevin just can't deal with any of that, so I basically take charge and order his meds and order all of his colostomy supplies he needs, and then make sure that, you know, he gets to the doctors, and I drive him to, you know, wherever it may be, Rochester, and see the doctors. So you need to have somebody that really loves you and that's going to basically help you through everything, because it would be so much for one person to handle.
Now they've got me on this opium borodella or something, and borodana, and it's basically the reason that, most of the reason that I'm on all these meds is, here we go. Yes, he's seen.